Nancy, congratulations on your childbirth. Such a cute baby. Right, Anna, you think so too, don't you? It must be nice to be a parent. I'm really envious. At my sister's baby shower, my husband Ken asked me this. Indeed, the baby is cute, and since we don't have children, I understand why my husband feels envious. But I couldn't help laughing. Ken, why do you sound like it's none of your business? Are you mocking me by saying you're envious? Why are you laughing? You're trying hard with the fertility treatments, and I too want to become a parent soon. Is that so funny? There's nothing wrong with what my husband says if he doesn't know everything. That's why my in-laws also looked puzzled, just like my husband. Anna, Ken is right. Aren't you the one mocking here? I understand infertility treatments are tough, but this attitude at a celebration. I can't overlook it. My in-laws' words weren't wrong either. But they don't know anything. I know everything. To me, my husband's words are exceedingly cruel. I had been preparing for today's comeback. I might make my husband regret this for a lifetime. Ken, let me ask you again. Why does it sound like it's none of your business? Even though you are the father of Nancy's baby. What? What are you talking about, Anna? Why would I be the father? Just because the fertility treatments aren't working, don't spout nonsense. That's right, Anna. Even as a joke, such remarks are. Mom's right. There are things you should and shouldn't say. Right, Anna? That joke is a bit too much. My husband, in-laws, and sister were bewildered by my remark. Such a disgraceful act. I know everything, you know? Anna, what nonsense are you? My husband was about to snap at me, but I took out my phone and played a video. What? No. Where did you get that? My husband and sister exclaimed at the same time. The video showed my husband and my sister having an affair. I had been monitoring and filming my husband and sister since a certain point. Everyone present was shocked by the video. As you can see, Ken and Nancy are having an affair. I started gathering evidence once I noticed. So this video is real. Wait! There's no way I'd do something like that. Right. I definitely wouldn't have an affair with Anna's husband, that's for sure. Faced with suspicion from my in-laws, my husband and sister made desperate excuses. Anna, could there be some mistake? As a parent, I can hardly believe Ken would do such a thing. I agree with Dad. Besides, Nancy is your sister, Anna. I can't believe she'd have an affair with her sister's husband. My in-laws, knowing the usual demeanor of my husband and sister, were confused as they couldn't believe the two would have an affair. It's natural for you to say that. But I never lie. Ken and Nancy always act in front of you, so it's natural you wouldn't notice. Acting, you say? Yes, that's right. My in-laws' eyebrows twitched. Then, I exposed my husband's true nature that my in-laws didn't know. First, please watch this. I touched my phone and played another video. This video showed my husband mistreating his wife. This is... Ken, you. Do you really think I would do that? Dad, Mom, please don't be fooled by Anna. Oh, how rude to say I'm deceiving. Every day, Ken has been calling me a failure. It's a misunderstanding. I said it because I care about you, Anna. You care about me? You've been calling me an infertile woman, and you haven't been supportive of fertility treatments at all. It's partly because we can't have children. But I couldn't understand why Ken was mistreating me. I installed cameras around the house hoping to find the reason. During that time, Ken ordered me to clean the car. It wasn't an order. I asked. My use of the word order had my father-in-law glaring sternly at my husband. In a panic, my husband tried to correct himself, but my mother-in-law scolded him to be quiet. While cleaning, I found long brown hair in the car. Oh, Anna always keeps her hair short and it's pretty black. Yes. I always keep it short because I don't like long hair, and I'm not good at dyeing it either. So I thought Ken was cheating on me behind my back. Suspecting that Ken's mistreatment was due to the affair, I started monitoring Ken and Nancy. You're suspecting me over a single hair? My sister raised her voice. I didn't want to doubt my own sister. But even after I got married, you often came over and seemed to be getting along well with Ken. That's because I was lonely and wanted to visit. But you were busy with housework and all, so I just talked with Ken for fun. That may have been the case at first. But because you are my sister and he is my husband, I noticed the subtle changes. Huh? That's a lie. You're making this up because you don't like me getting along with Nancy. Even with solid evidence like the video, my husband insists it's fabricated. There's no way it's fabricated. I followed you both myself. I saw it with my own eyes. All right. I admit I met with Nancy outside. But her husband isn't here now, is he? I was just consulting him. It's definitely not an affair. My in-laws tilted their heads at my husband's words. True, Nancy's husband isn't here. It's odd that he's not here for such an important event. My in-laws started questioning why my sister's husband wasn't at such an important occasion. To strengthen his position, my husband added more. Actually, Nancy's husband suddenly disappeared. She doesn't know where he is, so she was emotionally unstable. Really? Yes. That's true. When I got pregnant, he just vanished. I didn't know what to do. I was worried it would affect the baby, so I consulted Ken. That's what it is. Anna just misunderstood and got jealous. My husband and sister tried to turn my in-laws against me, making me look bad. My in-laws looked between me, my husband, and my sister in confusion. Expecting this, I decided to present more evidence. If you say that much, listen to this next. I took out a small device from my bag and pressed a button. From the device, the conversation between my husband and sister could be heard. Anna is totally useless. I regret marrying someone like her. But now you only think of her as a housekeeper, right? That should be enough. Yeah, I'll just let her handle all the housework. Dad and Mom believe everything I say. Fooling parents who trust their son is so easy. The conversation showed that my husband and sister looked down on me and even insulted my in-laws. They also said demeaning things about you, calling you clueless fools in their conversations. Stop it. That's cruel. My husband's angry shout forced me to stop the playback. My sister looked like she was about to cry. The device playing the audio was a bugging device. As my in-laws were shocked, I explained the situation. After finding evidence of the affair in the car, I hired a detective agency. To gather more evidence, I installed a bugging device. Assuming that my husband and his mistress might be having the affair in the car, I set up the bugging device. At that time, it was just an assumption, so when I found out that my husband's mistress was my sister, I was shocked and couldn't move for a while. After hearing the recorded audio, my in-laws realized that my husband and sister were acting in front of them. Anna, I'm truly sorry. Even though we didn't know, we doubted you. It's okay. You didn't know anything, so it can't be helped. I'm sorry too. And Ken, you knew everything and still celebrated Nancy's childbirth? How could you act so indifferent while treating Anna so horribly? With all this evidence, my in-laws sided with me. Apologize to Anna immediately. Since you let Nancy have the baby while Anna was here, you need to take responsibility. My in-laws aggressively confronted my husband and sister. Under the relentless pursuit of my in-laws, my husband and sister fell silent, unable to make any more excuses. But then, they did something unimaginable that exceeded my expectations. Oh, we'd been caught. We thought we'd never get found out. Really? I never knew Anna would take such actions. So you admit it? Yeah, we admit it. But it's all Anna's fault. Really? It's your fault. If you had a baby with Ken, this wouldn't have happened. What kind of woman are you? My husband and sister shamelessly admitted to the affair without remorse. Furthermore, Nancy is right. I thought she'd have a baby right after marriage, but she turned out to be defective. And a wife should follow her husband. Being called defective by your husband is the end for a woman. That's why someone like me took him away. I've always looked down on you. You've always been gloomy since childhood, so I use that to my advantage. I'm cuter and more likable, and I have more friends than you. Unlike you, I have plenty of people who would do anything for me. Yeah, you're inferior to Nancy in every way. Looks, personality, everything. But you were easy to manage. My husband joined in, piling on the insults with my sister. Taking a deep breath, I sighed. Nancy, I already knew you looked down on me. I also knew people compared us. I don't mind being criticized. What I can't forgive is that you deceived his parents. What? What do you mean? We don't have parents, do we? But when I started dating Ken, our in-laws treated us like their own daughters. Yet you repaid their kindness with betrayal. I can't forgive that. So what? It's their fault for being deceived and used. Exactly. Pleasing them every day was easy. They got fooled by their own son. Ken, I can't believe you turned out to be this kind of person. So all those times you told us to leave Anna to you were lies. And Nancy, you said you respected Anna, but behind her back, you were saying awful things with Ken. My in-laws seemed disappointed to learn the true nature of my husband and sister. Listen, Ken. A husband works to support his wife and family. They are not to be belittled. That's right. Anna takes care of the house. In a marriage, both partners are equal. It's not about who works outside. Anna supports the home as much as you work outside. Blaming everything on Anna and doing whatever you want is wrong. Nancy, haven't you been supported by Anna in some way? Don't you have any gratitude for that? Anna has been putting up with much more because she's your older sister. My in-laws completely rejected my husband and sister's way of thinking, explaining how foolish they were. I felt tears well up, grateful for my in-laws' words. However, my husband and sister, without a hint of remorse, shouted in unison, "It's their fault for being fooled." All right, Ken. If that's how you feel, we're cutting you off. Don't ever step foot in our house again. And that goes for you too, Nancy. Realizing that further discussion was futile, my in-laws decided to cut ties with him. That works for me. I'm tired of trying to please you both. As long as I have Nancy, I'm fine. I don't need a sister like you. As long as I have Ken, I'm happy. I'm relieved that I don't have to be considerate anymore. My husband and sister declared they'd be happier without us. Enraged, my in-laws were about to explode, but I stopped them. You two will regret this someday. We already regret marrying you. I regret having a sister like you. My husband and sister didn't take my warning seriously. Thinking I was just bluffing, I decided not to say anything more and told my in-laws, "Let's go home," leaving my husband and sister behind. Back at my in-laws' home, my father-in-law apologized on behalf of my husband. Anna, I'm really sorry for what our foolish son did. And for saying such terrible things to you. Even though we didn't know, we doubted you. We're truly sorry. They were probably apologizing for saying, "Aren't you the one mocking, and I can't overlook your attitude at a celebration." You weren't wrong in what you said. I'm sorry I didn't consult you sooner. I apologized too. My in-laws hurriedly said, "Anna, we'll make Ken apologize to you. Nancy has to acknowledge her faults too." No, that's not necessary. They'll fall into their own hell without us doing anything. I smiled and assured them. So, Anna, you've already made your move? Yes, just watch. A few days later, I received numerous calls from my husband while I was at a certain place. After several calls, I reluctantly answered. Finally, you answered. What have you been doing? I have my own plans. Besides, we're divorced now. I don't need to answer your calls. I'm calling about Nancy. She took my money and disappeared. Do you know anything? Oh, about that. She probably took your money and ran. What? What do you mean? Do you know something? I revealed the truth to my husband. Let me tell you. Nancy's husband didn't disappear. It's the opposite. Nancy was running away from him. What? No way. Nancy was cheating on you and other men. That's a lie. It's not. I hired a detective to thoroughly investigate your affair with Nancy. In the process, I found out Nancy was running away from her husband and seeing other men. No. That's a lie. Nancy said I was the one she loved the most. My husband refused to believe me. So I switched to a video call. On the screen were my sister, sitting, and a man my husband didn't know. Nancy? Who's the guy next to you? Who? That's Nancy's husband. And this is their home. What? No way. In the past few days, I had contacted my sister's husband and worked together to catch her. Naturally, we anticipated that my sister would disappear from my husband's place. Do you remember what I said at the baby shower about you being the father of Nancy's baby? That was a lie. I kept the truth hidden to keep you close. What? That baby is mine. No, it's not. The timing was off. We did a DNA test. You're not the father. Anna, you knew all along and tricked me? Yes, it was easier that way. Why? Nancy said the baby was ours. My husband screamed over the phone, but my sister didn't even look his way. Nancy approached you to deceive and take your money. She targeted you because you had the most money. After discovering her pregnancy, she disappeared from her real husband and aimed at you to fund her childbirth and child-rearing. In short, you were her cash cow. Don't be ridiculous. Nancy, you deceived me? Seriously, Ken? It's your fault for being fooled. I threw back his own words at him. Ken, frustrated, began to ask Nancy why she deceived him. Why? It's obvious. To get revenge on my sister. Because of her, Mom and Dad died. Yes, our parents died saving me in that car accident. So, it's not wrong to say they died because of me. No, it's entirely your fault that Mom and Dad died. That's why I hate you. Since I felt guilty about my parents' deaths, I couldn't say anything back to my despairing sister. Nancy, that's not true. Yes, your parents died in an accident, but it wasn't your sister's fault. While I remained silent, Nancy's husband defended me. I was surprised, but also felt a little relieved for the first time to hear that it wasn't my fault. Nancy, deep down, you know it wasn't your sister's fault. I know. I've known that from the beginning. But I needed to blame her to cope. That's why I said so many horrible things. I'm sorry, Anna. Convinced by her husband, Nancy apologized to me. Well, that's settled then. Anna, I was wrong. Let's start over. Having watched the whole conversation, my husband had the audacity to ask for reconciliation. I rejected him completely. No, it's over. I will never forgive you. What? Why? I was the one deceived. Don't be ridiculous. You're the ridiculous one. Considering what you've done to me, this is the natural outcome. After that turmoil, my husband was disowned not only by my in-laws but also by other relatives. I delivered the final blow. You just want to rely on me because you have no one else left. But too bad, I'm not alone. You'll have to live your life alone from now on. I saw him collapse to his knees in despair through the video call, muttering regrets. I cut the call without saying a word. Afterward, I and my husband, and my sister and her husband got divorced. Nancy's baby was taken in by her husband. This was an obvious outcome. My ex-husband and sister lost everything and, instead of supporting each other, they blamed each other daily. In addition, Nancy's other lovers showed up at my ex-husband's workplace, causing a huge scandal, forcing him to quit. He now works as a day laborer, and I hear he's deteriorating day by day. As for me, one day my in-laws visited again to apologize. We're truly sorry for our foolish son. We made you suffer so much, Anna. No, please don't worry. I'm grateful you were on my side. If you hadn't been, I wouldn't have been able to speak up. I should be thanking you. Even though you're no longer my son's wife, you'll always be our family, Anna. Thank you. Tears streamed down my face at my mother-in-law's words. She hugged me gently, and I cried for the first time in a long while. A few years later, I remarried. With the support of my understanding new husband, I successfully got pregnant and gave birth. From this experience, I learned something important. There's no hierarchy in marriage. A couple should always stand side by side.